Hi, I'm Brad, and welcome to my inclusive education site. I'm a vlogger now. I actually didn't know what a vlogger was, but once researching, I looked it up, and it's virtually a blog recorded. I had a research into it, and it says the main idea is to get the viewer interested in the person, what the person has to say. So hopefully, I will do that. A bit about myself. This is my gracious courtyard. Herbs, garden, heaps of laundry on the bed in there. I'll do that later. A cat. And me. How I got to university was through an interest in education and disability. We had a friend who was in a car accident and received brain damage. And when she went into care years after, there was the carers were interested in her, but didn't engage her in any way. And this sort of got me interested in what things that could be done and how we could educate the carers to do this. And I was also involved with the Interchange Network, which is a respite service for parents. And there's a lot of kids there that had gone to school to grade 6, and then the parents it just got too hard, so they didn't include them in school. And I thought there must be some reason why, or maybe it's just too hard. In looking at inclusion, I looked at exclusion, and basing on myself. It could be political. I don't have strong political views, so it's never really been a problem with me or for me. My social class, I'm middle class. I grew up in West Heidelberg, and in the early days, when you would say you're from West Heidelberg, which is a very low social SES suburb, people would sort of put you in a lower class and look down at you, I suppose. My race and skin colour, so I'm a white Caucasian, and it's never been a problem for me. I've never been excluded for that, except for when we're in Vietnam traveling down the Mekong. We just hiked to a small village, and everyone followed me around because I was like a 6'2" giant white. And I was like a celebrity. People would stop and peek around corners and pretend they're not looking at me, which is quite funny when you're traveling, but it's supposed to be sort of on the back flip of that every day. Religion, I'm Catholic. I'm not practicing. I don't have strong views on Catholic, but do understand it started wars. My educational status, like a high school educator, and now at university. So people, when you mention what your educational status is, but I've never been excluded from it. My appearance, I'm sort of normal, I think. I'm healthy. I'm able. I'm heterosexual, except for the time in Sri Lanka when there was this glamorous, the best looking man I've ever seen was working at customs, and I was lucky to be frisked by him. It was gorgeous. And my age, I have had exclusion because of age, and it's only at university, which was really my first year at university, which was a real downer to start when we were doing a PE subject, and we had to go into groups when the teacher would say stop and things, and I heard one of the girls say, "Oh, please don't let me get with that old guy." And to see photos of her graduating now, I hope through her journey of university that she has different views on how to interact with people, especially as students. Um, I think with inclusion, I going back to my primary school, which was a long time ago. I can recall friends and students who were pretty much just expelled for bad behaviour, or where the teacher would blame the student. I suppose I wasn't aware of anything different. We didn't know, but like students that weren't getting work, understanding, um, would blow up at the teachers, and then they'd be expelled, and they come back, and the same thing would just happen again. And it was never the teacher trying to fix or change the way of teaching. And there's some students there that I can recall. I wonder what happened to them, that we didn't help them as students, because they were excluded. I suppose they were different. They were naughty. They were the bad kids, and we're just sort of left to their own devices if they didn't understand. Or I can just remember just wandering around and just being not actually in the classroom, which is something that, being a pre-service teacher, have seen a lot of different techniques, and a big change from when I was at school, which is a great understanding. But there's still a lot to go. I understand that the school system still needs improvement. There are still some old school teachers out there. Some schools that, some teachers, sorry, that believe inclusion is an extra thing they add on to subjects, or an extra thing they have to work towards, and and can see with new teachers coming through where inclusive education classes are actually being taught progressively at university. I can see through my professional experiences at schools that the newer educated teachers are it's more ingrained in their actual classroom teaching. It's sort of at the beginning, not as an add-on, I suppose. So that's my thoughts. It's inclusivity is there. Some better than others. It still needs to get better, and with students having the right to attend any school that they want to. It really hits home that you need to think of this now, and when planning your lessons, and at the start of the year. It shouldn't be something you think of when you're just about to do the class. It should be ingrained in you, which hopefully it will be with me, which I'll talk in another vlog. I do have a quote which is my main philosophy on inclusive education, and it was from one of our classes. It's by Booth and Ainscough in the Index for Inclusion, and it basically says it's vital to develop shared inclusive values that are conveyed to all new staff members. These principles and values guide decisions about policy and teaching practices in classrooms. In teaching practice in classrooms and an inclusive process. So it's ingrained from the top down. It's as I said, it should be something that, as a teacher going into the profession, that's what you do. Ciao.